Guys, in today's lesson, we starting learning learning MB, which is to create a dashboard using data manipulation tool. And these are the criteria that you are required to meet in order to achieve your level. So we'll be looking at how to manipulate the data using different methods. So the method we're going to use for today's lesson is importing data. How to import the data into Excel. As we learned from our last learning we looked at the difference between data and information. So how do we turn data into information? We do that by importing the data into Excel, then it becomes information. We look at that. The two keywords for today is dashboard. So what is a dashboard? We use a dashboard to display important information using visual and other methods of presentation. The best place we are familiar with in seeing a dashboard is in a vehicle. When we look at the dashboard of a vehicle, just by the glancing the dashboard, we can tell how fast the vehicle is moving, how much fuel the vehicle has got in its tank, and so forth. So a dashboard is just used to display just important aspects of information instead of reading too much text. Another keyword is delimiting. Delimiting means separating. Okay? Delimiting means separating. By looking at this screenshot here, this is an example of data. This we got so much data here. We got something that looks like a date, and then BMW, some numbers, and the names there. Each of this data has been separated using commas. So this data items are delimited using commas. So delimiting is the use of one or more characters to separate one data item from another. So in this case, there's only one character, which is the comma we've used to separate the data item. So we're going to look at how to import data, which looks like this. Let me show you the data I've already stored. So this is the data we're going to import. As you can see, we got a long list of data here, and it's very difficult to make any sense of this. And the data has been separated, the data item has been separated using semicolon here. So this is what we're going to import into Excel, and then we see what happens. So let's close this. We close this and then open up the Excel. Now we have new Excel sheet. here. So you open up new Excel sheet. You click on A1 just at the top left-hand corner. So the data will start importing from that corner. Yeah, if you click in the middle here, that's where you're gonna start from. But I don't want that. Just at the corner here, so you can use the whole sheet. So you click on that, then you go to data, and then from text, then you navigate or you browse to whatever you saved, the text file, the data file. I know where I saved my one, which is so I just navigate into wherever I saved it, and I've called it card. So I click on it and I go to import. Now it's giving me a screenshot of the file I'm trying to import. Just to say, is it the one you want? I say yes, go on. And now give me option. What character has been used to separate the data item? So by looking at the data items, I know that the character is semicolon. So I click on the semicolon, then next, finish, and then okay. Now, as you can see, from the random data, we got very meaningful information here. So this is how we turn data into information. Okay. So now, how do we create a dashboard from this information? Yeah, we create a dashboard using information. So there are so many information here that if you want to filter for certain aspects of this information, it becomes so difficult. Yeah, that's what that we need a dashboard comes in. Yeah, that's what a dashboard comes in. So a dashboard is made up of graphs. This example of a dashboard I'm gonna show you. Yeah. So this dashboard, every data here comes from that raw data, which is it. Yeah. All the information, everything here comes from here. So a dashboard is made up of graphs or charts showing some major aspects in the data table. Yeah. The dashboard will also have slices, which is this button here, which give you visual tool to allow you to filter the data as required. So let's move on to look at how we create the dashboard. To create a dashboard, you go to the home button and then insert, go to insert, pivot table, go to pivot table. Once you click on it, you see that the whole data has been selected. You go to OK. Now, we need to make some selections here. What button are we going to create in our dashboard? Yeah, what button we're going to create in our dashboard? So our first button, let's say we're going to, but to create the buttons, we first of all need to create a small table. So I'm showing you first. That table is usually created using 2 columns. So let's say I want cars and the origins of the car. So I select cars, we go to the bottom there, and the origin goes here. So now I've got small table on the left here. So now we're going to use the table to create the chart. All right. So we go to option, pivot chart. Yeah. So you have the option of different charts. You can choose any one you want. In this case, I'm going to choose this chart. And I've got this chart here. Yeah. It's got the origin, and then the cars and origin. We have the percentage of the cars that come from this origin. That's what is showing here. So you copy this chart, you select it, then Control C, then open new sheet. So you can call this new sheet new dashboard. New dashboard. Then you click here, you Control V, you paste it. Now you can customize this chart to make it look a bit prettier. Let's give it appropriate heading. So because this chart is about origin of big cars and origin. Origin. Let's remove the legend from there. We don't want it. We remove this from there. We don't need it. What else? Don't need that here. We can remove. Okay, I think we can leave the rest of this. Yeah. So we can, let me see. Okay. Right, we can leave the rest. There's a lot more we can do to customize this, make it look a bit more prettier. Now we got our first chart here. Now let's go back to the sheet and make another chart. So we go to Insert, to Pivot Table, and then Pivot Table. Okay. So this time, let's go to cars and weight, cars and the weight of the car. Okay. So all the cars and the weight of the vehicle here. I go to Option, Pivot Chart. Again, I like the bar chart, so I'm going to stick to the bar chart. Okay. So again, this one is the weight. This one is the cars and the weight. So let's call it weight. Let's call it weight. So we can copy it. Control C. We go to a dashboard. We copy this one. We put it there. And let's remove this on the left here. Let's remove it from there. We don't want it. Remove the legend. We don't want the legend there. And then now we got two charts there. One is origin, one is weight. So how do we filter this chart? We filter it using what is called slices. So we click to create a slicer. You go to Analyze, Insert Slicer. So insert slicer. Now we have the options. What buttons do we want to create? Let's say how to select card. So this one will give you all the buttons. So if I click on any of this, it will show me the origin and the weight. Yeah. And then let's make another one. Slicer. New insert slicer. This time another one. I go to weight or origin. Origin, I'll go the names. So how do we connect the buttons to the chart? You right click in the slicer, you go to pivot table connection, then we select all the tables we created. We do the same to the other one, right click, and then we select all the tables, all the charts we created. So now, let's say I want to find out all the cars that come from USA. I click on USA, and these are the vehicles that come from USA and their weight. Now, if I click on Japan, then all the cars that come from Japan and their weight will show here. So this is how to create a dashboard, right? So remember, a dashboard is made up of graph or chart. Graph or chart showing some major aspects of the data table. Yeah, the major aspect of the table. The dashboard will also have sliders which give you visual tools to allow you to filter the data as required. All the data in the dashboard come from the raw data, which is the raw data. Okay. All the data come from the raw data here. Before you create a dashboard, this is very important. You have to ensure that every row and every row and every column is filled in. Yeah. Otherwise, the data will be corrupted. Yeah. Everything is filled in. Otherwise, data will be corrupted. All right. So you've looked at what a dashboard is, the importance of a dashboard. Why do we need dashboard? Firstly, you've also looked at the meaning of delimiting. You've looked at how to import data into Excel. And then you've also looked at how to create a dashboard from the imported data. Yeah. So you have your assignment in Microsoft Teams. Do it and submit it by the next lesson. We go through the assignment in the next lesson before we move on to our next topic. Okay, we stop here for now. Take care, guys, and stay safe.